Hello, all my Raizio, Mitsu, Yummy players, and Malice. How are you doing today? Oh, wait, what? You mean there's other players in this game? Doesn't seem like it. We just got a balance update, which Konami basically went to the other decks and said, you need to stop trying to do things. Like, if you're playing Raizio Omnat, or Omnat, whatever the fuck it's called, Konami basically said, yeah, you ain't doing that shit anymore. If you're playing the Vanquish K9 and thinking you could, like, put a lock in, yeah, Konami's like, you're not doing that anymore. We just got a ban list update. Now, let's stop very quickly so we can just really focus on this, because this right here is not a regular ban list. This right here is an emergency ban list. We rarely get this in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But when we do, it's normally because the game is super imbalanced. A lot of decks are skewing one way. Last time I remember it was like Alert Darkness, because Black ones were just so OP. And they were still OP, but like Alert kind of like let a lot of other decks to kind of play the game. Looking at this, you would think that Raizio Omnat and Vanquish K9 are the most dominant decks in the game, is what you would think. But realistically, I think Yummy Mitsu particularly is the most dominant deck. Despite that, the balance didn't even hit this deck. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm playing Yummy Mitsu, I'm playing Malice. This balance could have been literally any empty cards. I don't care, I'm still playing when I'm playing. But, if you're all playing those other decks, Konami just slapped the crap out of you. Forbidden, Artemis Protos, Artifact Monier, Battle Statue of the Drought, Inferno, Fossil Pachycephalo, even some Ouroboros, and D-Barrier. So D-Barrier probably makes every single Dragon player really happy, because D-Barrier definitely was a thorn in the side for every single Dragon player, which is great. But D-Barrier, I mean, it's a floodgate, so as long as floodgates get removed from this game, I'm okay with that. I don't like floodgates. I wish Drone Lockbird was on here. I wish we had more floodgates. Like Drone Lockbird and whatnot. I do not like floodgates. I think floodgates are not fun for the game. You can thrust, grab a floodgate, put a floodgate down. Great. I can't do something next turn. With that said, there are a ton of floodgates in this game, and Konami's looking like they're trying to get rid of them. With even some Ouroboros being out the picture, Raizio Omnat cannot take cards at your hand. Fine. I think the Raizio Omnat was a broken deck, but it was a broken deck in a sea filled with broken decks. And Konami saw the YCS they recently happened in Anaheim. I believe it was in Anaheim. And they were like, alright, Yummy Mitsu, Malice, Yummy Mitsu. What the fuck? Who's this one Raizio Omnat kid? Get him out of here. What do we gotta do to break this kid's kneecaps? Alright, we're just gonna hit Protos and Ouroboros and tell that kid to kick rocks. Monia was obviously another major hit to the Vanquish K9 variations, or K9 variations running around. Monia was definitely unfair, but once again, it's unfair to see unfair decks. Fossil Pachycephalo wasn't really seeing as much play, except for stun decks in particular. But Konami doesn't want stun decks. They want you to buy more cards, so they're going to hit stun decks. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this happen more. I mean, think about it. We saw Silent Judgment get hit in the last ban list, and now Pachycephalo being hit. It makes perfect sense what Konami is trying to do. They're looking at all the decks and saying, what's making players not buy the new cards? Alright, hit those decks. That's why they didn't go ahead and hit Yummy Mitsu, because they need to still sell those Marshalls. They need to sell Yummy Mitsurugi card. Like, they need to sell all that crap. And when they have the next deck, guess what, Yummy Mitsu players? Your head will now be on the chopping block. The reason why I didn't hit Malice, by the way, in my opinion, even though I'm a huge Malice fan, is because Malice they're getting sprinkled in. It's not like the OCG, where arguably Malice is the best deck. Here in the TCG, Malice is kind of like, it's the cinnamon to the eggnog. Sometimes you don't even put cinnamon in your eggnog, and sometimes Mouse decks don't top of regionals. But sometimes you do, and you see like 1 or 2 Mouse decks, you're like, yay! Like Mouse players are like, they get excited when you see like one guy at the top. They're like, hell yeah, man, we did it. Yummy Mitsu players have just been eating good nonstop. But like I said, the next ban list, you're gonna be starving, because they're gonna kill your deck in lieu of releasing more cards that's they want to push. As far as the barrier statues, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more barrier statues being hit on the ban list. I think that's a real feasible thing, because these barrier statues have been broken for a long time, and they slowly creep their way into the metagame and get abused. One barrier statue I'm talking about is the water barrier statue, which is still being used in Mermails, but Konami's like, no, that earth one needs to be hit. Okay, makes no sense, but Konami, you the boss. It's just super weird to see this, see those 2 barrier statues. They could have, like I said, they could have gone with the water one and fire one, would have made infinitely more sense. But maybe new support coming out, it might be a good idea to hit those. Sure. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm on Malice and Yoshimitsu. I don't care about any of this shit. I also been playing Monarchs. That deck's really fun too. So Malice, Yoshimitsu, Monarchs. Comment down below what deck you're playing. Comment down below what you think about this ban list. Comment down below, let me know what you think about an E-ban list, because for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, this might be your first E-ban list, but I'm telling you right now, Konami will have more eventually. It just takes, like, the last time spent on an E-ban, I believe was, God, what was the last E-ban we had? I think it was the one around Zodiac format when we had the last E-ban list. So it's been a long time. Just really crazy to see this ban list, guys. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. It's your boy V, and you guys have a great day.